Have you ever looked at someone and wondered, does he really love me? You're not alone. In a world of ghosting situations and its complicated status updates, genuine love often feels like trying to find a diamond in a quarry of costume jewelry. But what if I told you there's a science to love? What if I told you that true love isn't just about butterflies and stolen glances? What if I told you that there are actual, observable signs that can tell you whether someone loves you truly, madly, deeply, or is just going through the motions? Today, we're diving into the 12 unmistakable signs that a man genuinely loves you. Not the surface-level affection that fades faster than your Instagram stories, but the real, enduring love that stands the test of time. The kind that makes you feel seen, valued, and cherished. So whether you're questioning your current relationship, healing from past heartbreak, or simply want to understand the psychology of love better, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never have to wonder, does he really love me again? Sign 1. He invests in your growth as much as his own. True love isn't just about accepting you as you are, though that's certainly part of it. It's about seeing your potential and actively supporting your journey toward becoming your best self. A man who truly loves you will take genuine interest in your goals and aspirations. He'll ask about your dreams and remember the details. But more than that, he'll actually help you work toward them. He might research opportunities related to your interests, connect you with people who could help advance your career, or simply create space in your shared life for you to pursue your passions. This isn't about changing you or fixing you, it's about believing in you, sometimes even more than you believe in yourself. When obstacles arise, he doesn't just offer sympathy, he offers solutions, encouragement, and unwavering faith that you can overcome whatever stands in your way. Think about it. Does he celebrate your wins as enthusiastically as his own? Does he comfort you through failures without making you feel diminished? Does he recognize your growth and acknowledge your efforts? Because a man who truly loves you isn't threatened by your success or intimidated by your ambition. Instead, he sees your achievements as a shared victory, your growth as a mutual blessing. Sign 2. He shows commitment through actions, not just words. In today's world, declarations of love are easy. They fill our songs, movies, and social media feeds. But true love isn't found in grand proclamations or poetic text messages. It's demonstrated through consistent, reliable actions over time. A man who truly loves you makes promises he can keep, rather than promises he thinks you want to hear. He shows up when he says he will. He follows through on commitments, both big and small. He demonstrates that your relationship is a priority, not just through occasional grand gestures, but through daily choices that might seem mundane, but actually form the foundation of trust. Notice how he handles your shared future. Does he naturally include you in his plans? Does he talk about we and us when discussing what lies ahead? Is he willing to make adjustments to his life to accommodate your relationship's growth? Commitment isn't just about exclusivity or putting a ring on your finger. It's about the willingness to work through challenges, to choose the relationship even when it's difficult, and to consistently invest in building something that will last beyond the initial excitement. Sign 3. He communicates openly, even when it's difficult. Love without honest communication is like trying to drive a car without a steering wheel. You might move forward, but you'll eventually crash. A man who truly loves you creates safe spaces for difficult conversations. He doesn't shut down when conflicts arise or retreat into silence when feelings get hurt. Instead, he stays engaged, listens actively, and works with you to find understanding. This doesn't mean he never gets upset or always expresses himself perfectly, but it does mean that he values the relationship enough to push through discomfort to reach resolution. He doesn't use communication as a weapon, withholding it as punishment or wielding it to wound. Pay attention to how he handles vulnerability. Can he share his fears and insecurities with you? Can he admit when he's wrong? Can he express needs and emotions without assigning blame? True love requires the courage to be seen fully, flaws and all. A man who loves you won't hide significant parts of himself or expect you to be a mind reader. He'll work to bridge gaps in understanding, to explain his perspective while remaining open to yours. Sign 4. He shows intimate knowledge of who you really are, beyond the superficial details that anyone could learn from your social media profiles. A man who truly loves you develops a deep understanding of your authentic self, your values, fears, hopes, quirks, and contradictions. This intimate knowledge shows up in thoughtful ways, remembering how you take your coffee, noticing when you're stressed before you even mention it, knowing which topics make your eyes light up with passion. He doesn't just store these details, he uses them to make you feel seen and understood. With true love comes the ability to distinguish between your temporary moods and your enduring character. He knows when to take your irritability personally and when to recognize it's just because you're hungry or tired. He can tell the difference between when you need advice and when you just need someone to listen. Most importantly, he loves the real you, not an idealized version he's created in his mind, not the person he hopes you'll become, but the authentic, complex individual you are right now. He appreciates both your strengths and your flaws, understanding that they're all part of the complete package that makes you uniquely you. Sign 5. He prioritizes your well-being and happiness. Love at its core is about wanting the best for another person. A man who truly loves you will consistently demonstrate that your well-being matters deeply to him, not just when it's convenient or when he has something to gain. This manifests in both big and small ways. He might rearrange his schedule to help you through a difficult day. He might remember to check in when you have an important meeting or doctor's appointment. He finds joy in making your life easier and more pleasant, not because he's keeping score, but because your happiness genuinely matters to him. Crucially, he respects your autonomy while providing support. He doesn't try to control your decisions or manipulate you into prioritizing his needs above your own. Instead, he encourages you to practice self-care and personal development, understanding that your individual fulfillment enhances rather than threatens your relationship. Look at how he responds when your needs conflict with his wants. Does he approach these situations with resentment or with a spirit of loving compromise? Is he willing to experience temporary discomfort or inconvenience for your long-term happiness? A man who truly loves you doesn't view your relationship as a zero-sum game where one person's win is another's loss. He understands that when you flourish, the relationship flourishes too. Sign 6. He demonstrates emotional intelligence and empathy. True love requires the ability to step outside oneself and genuinely understand another person's emotions. A man who loves you doesn't dismiss your feelings or minimize your experiences, even when they're different from his own. He strives to understand the world from your perspective. When you're upset, he doesn't immediately become defensive or try to fix the problem. Instead, he creates space for your emotions, validates your experiences, and offers comfort in ways that actually resonate with you. This empathy extends beyond your relationship as well. Notice how he treats others, especially those who can't benefit him directly. Does he show compassion for strangers? Does he try to understand perspectives different from his own? These are indicators of an empathetic nature that's essential for lasting love. Emotional intelligence also means he can identify and express his own feelings appropriately. He doesn't use anger to mask hurt or withdrawal to avoid vulnerability. He takes responsibility for his emotional responses rather than blaming you for making him feel a certain way. In conflicts, he focuses on understanding rather than winning. He cares more about the health of your relationship than about being right or protecting his ego. Sign 7. He shows respect for your independence and boundaries. Love without respect is possession, not partnership. A man who truly loves you honors your individuality and understands that healthy relationships require both connection and autonomy. He respects your boundaries without making you feel guilty for having them. Whether it's physical boundaries, emotional boundaries, or boundaries around your time and energy, he understands that these limits aren't rejections but necessary components of a healthy relationship. He encourages your independence rather than fostering dependence. He supports your separate friendships, interests, and goals, understanding that these external connections and pursuits make you the multifaceted person he fell in love with. Watch how he handles disagreements about boundaries. Does he try to wear you down until you give in? Does he use emotional manipulation to push past your comfort zone? Or does he accept your limits with grace, even when they're not what he'd prefer? A man who truly loves you will make you feel free within the relationship, not trapped or smothered. He understands that choosing each other daily, rather than needing each other desperately, creates a stronger, healthier bond. Sign 8. He demonstrates consistent reliability in both crisis and calm. True love isn't just about being there during life's highlight reel moments. It's about showing up consistently, especially when things get messy or difficult. A man who truly loves you proves himself dependable, not just in emergencies, but in the mundane, everyday situations that make up most of life. He keeps his promises, follows through on commitments, and can be counted on to do what he says he'll do. This reliability creates a foundation of trust that allows love to flourish. When he says he'll pick up groceries, you know the fridge will be stocked. When he promises to handle a task, you don't need to follow up or worry about it falling through the cracks. But beyond these practical matters, emotional reliability matters just as much. You know that if you call him with a problem, he'll respond with support rather than judgment. You can trust that his feelings for you won't wildly fluctuate based on his mood or circumstances. Consider how he handles responsibility in general. Does he take ownership of his mistakes? Does he follow through on obligations to others, not just to you? These patterns reveal his capacity for the consistent reliability that sustains love through life's inevitable challenges. Sign 9. He balances giving and receiving in the relationship. Healthy love involves reciprocity, a natural flow of giving and receiving that evolves over time. A man who truly loves you participates fully in this dance, neither dominating as the constant giver nor taking advantage as the perpetual receiver. He contributes to your shared life in meaningful ways, whether through emotional support, practical help, financial resources, or other forms of care. Importantly, he does so without keeping score or expecting immediate returns on his investment. At the same time, he can accept love and support from you with grace. He doesn't see vulnerability or need as weakness, but as natural parts of human connection. He allows you to care for him, to help him, to give to him, understanding that receiving can be as much an act of love as giving. Notice the balance of sacrifice in your relationship. Are you both adjusting and accommodating to make things work? Or does one person consistently bend while the other remains rigid? True love creates a partnership where both people feel valued and supported. Neither person consistently feels depleted or resentful about what they give, nor guilty or indebted about what they receive. Sign 10. He embraces your world, including the people who matter to you. Love doesn't exist in isolation. A man who truly loves you understands that you come with connections to family, friends, pets, and communities that are important parts of who you are. He makes genuine efforts to build relationships with the people you care about, not just tolerating them or putting on a show when they're around, but actually investing in understanding and appreciating them. This doesn't mean he has to love everyone you love or become best friends with your entire social circle, but it does mean he respects these relationships and recognizes their importance in your life, even if they're different from the connections he would naturally form. Pay attention to how he talks about your loved ones when they're not around. Does he show interest in their well-being? Does he remember important details about them? Does he support your desire to maintain these connections? A man who truly loves you will want to be part of your world, not to control it or isolate you from it, but to share in the full richness of your life, including the relationships that shaped you before he arrived. Sign 11. He demonstrates love in your language, not just his own. Love isn't one size fits all. What makes one person feel cherished might barely register for another. A man who truly loves you takes the time to understand how you specifically experience and recognize love. He pays attention to what makes you feel valued and secure, whether it's words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, or tangible gifts. And most importantly, he makes consistent efforts to express his feelings in ways that resonate deeply with you. This doesn't mean he completely abandons his natural way of expressing affection, but it does mean he's willing to stretch beyond his comfort zone to speak your love language, even when it doesn't come as naturally to him. Notice whether he seems interested in learning how to love you better. Does he ask questions about your preferences? Does he remember what makes you feel special? Does he put this knowledge into action? True love involves this willingness to adapt and grow in how we express our feelings, not because we're pretending to be someone we're not, but because we value the other person's emotional experience enough to meet them where they are. Sign 12. He chooses you not just once, but every day. Perhaps the most profound sign of true love is this. He actively chooses you, again and again, even when the initial excitement fades, even when challenges arise, even when other options present themselves. In a world of endless possibility and constant connection, sustained commitment is a powerful declaration of love. A man who truly loves you doesn't stay because it's convenient or comfortable or expected, but because he genuinely wants to build a life with you specifically. This daily choice shows up in how he invests his time, energy, and attention. He makes room for your relationship amidst competing priorities. He works to keep your connection vibrant rather than letting it stagnate through neglect. This choosing isn't just about fidelity, though that's certainly part of it. It's about continuing to see you as someone worth pursuing, worth understanding, worth delighting, worth fighting for, not just during the honeymoon phase, but through the full, complex journey of a shared life. The beauty of being actively chosen is that it's not based on obligation or dependency, but on genuine desire and appreciation. He stays not because he needs to, but because he wants to. And that makes all the difference. So there you have them, 12 signs that a man truly loves you. Not just the surface-level attraction that fades with time, but the deep, abiding love that grows stronger through both joy and challenge. Understanding these signs isn't about creating a checklist to judge your partner against. It's about developing awareness of what genuine love looks like in action, so you can recognize it when it's present and notice when it's absent. Because here's the truth, you deserve to be loved completely, consistently, and authentically. You deserve a relationship where you don't have to constantly question whether his feelings are real. You deserve the peace that comes from knowing someone chooses you, sees you, and cherishes you for exactly who you are. If your relationship displays these signs, nurture it with gratitude and reciprocal love. And if it doesn't, have the courage to ask yourself whether you're settling for less than you deserve. True love isn't perfect. It's human, flawed, and sometimes messy. But it is intentional, consistent, and growth-oriented. It makes you feel secure rather than anxious, valued rather than inadequate, supported rather than drained. Remember, love isn't just something we fall into. It's something we build together, choice by choice, day by day. And when it's real, it doesn't leave you wondering. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you gain clarity about love in your life, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Until next time, take care of your heart. It's the only one you've got.